Yes, I'm ready. Good morning. My name is LaShawn Wallace, L-A-S-H-A-W-N, Wallace, W-A-L-L-A-C-E. And we're here today at City Hall because the CTU has worked collaboratively with CPS on rolling out parallel policies for the district workers, only to have the mayor and labor relations team backpedal after mid-December. The measure was expected to go before the mayor's hand-picked Board of Education at their January 25th meeting. The move is now on hold indefinitely. Here we have today a collective of our members. We have automatics in the House. We have automatic candidates. We have automatic candidate Lori Torres of the 36th Ward. We have Jeanette Taylor, Alderwoman of the 20th Ward. We have Rosanna Rodriguez, Alderwoman of the 33rd Ward. We also have Desmond Yancey, 5th Ward candidate, automatic candidate. We have Matt Martin, Alderman of the 47th Ward. We have Carlos Rosa of the 35th Ward here to help speak on today. And first we're going to call one of our parents and teachers and CTU member to speak to you on this morning. We're calling for Cassandra Sitopoulos.
Good morning. My name is Cassandra Chachopoulos, K-A-S-S-A-N-D-R-A, last name T-S-I-T-S-O-P-O-U-L-O-S. I'm a 17-year veteran of Chicago Public Schools. I've been an LSC member, a coach. I'm a CTU delegate, and I'm currently an executive board member at the Chicago Teachers Union. And in this last year, I became a mother of a baby girl. I've had to deal with a lot of CPS shenanigans, but it reached a new low when I was trying to navigate the abysmal parental leave policy that CPS has for parents. I had to have an emergency C-section in order to deliver my daughter. And right before they opened me up, I was scared, I was anxious, but I had a very disturbing thought. I could get 8 weeks of short-term disability instead of 6 weeks. That's really a messed up thought for a mom to have right before they're cutting her open to deliver her daughter. It's medieval. Afterwards, I reflected on how the wealthiest nation in the world and one of the wealthiest cities in the country could not have a guaranteed parental leave policy for every citizen, where a woman would look on the bright side of a C-section. In order to spend more time with my newborn daughter, I basically used up all my bank sick days. Now I worry that if I get sick, I won't have the days in order to stay home with her, let alone if I get sick myself. It's also inequitable because many of my male colleagues have hundreds of days banked that they can use to cash out early for retirement or to retire early with, something I won't have. In a profession that's dominated by women, to discriminate against them like this is unconscionable. You can't shortchange them on parental leave. Many of my family members and friends in the private sector get between 4 to 6 months of paid time off. If you want to attract the best and the brightest, you need to include a longer parental leave for Chicago Public School teachers. You can imagine how excited and overjoyed I was when I heard that the mayor was going to extend 12 weeks of paid parental leave for all CTU members, and how crushed I was later when I heard that she rescinded her promise to offer public sector employees like myself these 12 weeks. We were so close to getting this basic right. We even had a timeline with the board that they were going to approve it at the January meeting, only for it to be ripped away over winter break. If I choose to have a second child, I have to be extremely strategic about when I do so that I can have enough days as possible with my baby. I cannot believe that in 2023, the mayor, my boss, has the right to tell me where I can live and now when I can have my baby. The Handmaid's Tale is not far off. When people wonder why CTU gets involved in political matters, it's because politicians like the mayor have an outsized role in both my professional and my personal life. That's why we need champions on our side, people who are family and teacher friendly, which is why the CTU has endorsed Brandon Johnson for mayor, or other candidates like Lori Torres. You messed with our jobs and our students, and we went on strike for 11 days. Now you're messing with our babies, and there's nothing that this mama bear won't do to protect her baby. So I urge the mayor, the members of the city council, and the hand-picked Board of Education to negotiate the details of the 12-week parental leave policy with CTU and approve it as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra. At this time, we will hear from another parent, teacher, and CTU member, Allison Soldner.
Good morning. My name is Allie Soldner, A-L-L-I, Soldner, S-O-L-D-N-E-R. I am a kindergarten teacher for the Chicago Public Schools and a proud member of the union. Last year, when the mayor announced that all city workers would be receiving 12 weeks of parental leave, I was overwhelmed. What a difference this would make in my third baby's health and in my health. But then, for reasons unknown, she rescinded that. Teachers were not included. And that is why I am here today, to ask the mayor why. Why are you leaving out a division of city workers that is comprised of 80% women? Do our babies not deserve that same bond? Do I not deserve that same time to heal? It doesn't make sense. Offering 12 weeks of paid leave is only a step in the right direction. This city, this country is far behind the rest of the developed world. Long-term paid parental leave is a basic human right, and it needs to be that way here as well. Maternity leave is not a vacation. It is the most exhausting, mentally draining, wonderful roller coaster. With my firstborn, I couldn't stand for longer than 10 minutes at 6 weeks, let alone 7 hours in a classroom of kindergartners. With my daughter, I suffered from postpartum depression. I was far from the human being I should have been, and not a teacher that students deserved. The daycare that we had lined up wouldn't even accept my children till at least 9 weeks. They considered that inhumane, and that's common practice across the country. I extended my leaves not only because I physically had to, but because I financially could. I live in a 2-income household. That is not the case for many of our teachers. It's not fair. Many teachers live paycheck to paycheck. Formula, diapers, wipes, the basic necessities to keep a baby alive cost an average of $600 a month. With 12 weeks of unpaid leave, how do you pay for those things? No one becomes a teacher for the money. We do it because we love it, because we're passionate. But it's a sad truth that so many teachers are leaving CPS for other districts that offer better benefits, or they're leaving the profession altogether. Offering a mere 12 paid weeks will attract quality teachers, the next generation of teachers, and it will keep your passionate teachers in CPS. I don't want to leave CPS, but I might have to. I love my job, but I also love my children, and I don't want to have to choose between them. No parent should have to choose between a paycheck and time to bond with their newborn. What we are asking for is 12 weeks, a mere blip of time in our careers, but such a monumental time for our babies. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. At this time, you will hear from another teacher veteran of 20 years, a CTU member, an automatic candidate of the 36th Ward, none other than Lori Torres.
Good morning. My name is Lori Torres-Witt, L-O-R-I-T-O-R-R-E-S-W-H-I-T-T. This morning, first, thank you, CTU. We have been working with our kids front and center, for me, 2 decades at least, and I am growing a community in the 36th Ward that I am now a part of, and I'm talking to neighbors and community folk, and one of the things that comes up often is how do we properly support our schools? How do we make for a just and equal living here in Chicago? Part of that has to do with properly funding our schools, but also supporting the people in them. Paid parental leave is part of that. To have it offered and then rescinded a few weeks later, that's not right. We need people in City Hall and people in the mayor's office or a person in the mayor's office who will work with us and will see the value in our work. Because we work day to day with families in our classrooms, but we have families of our own. I'm a mother of 3. My youngest is 11. Paid parental leave wasn't a thing. So some teachers, like me, had all her babies in the summer to try to accommodate for the need of growing my family. Not everyone can do that. It doesn't work that way for everyone. It's how it works for me. I want this city to value education, but also value its educators. We deserve better. We deserve a mayor who will work with us. We deserve a city council who will fight for us. And a city council who will recognize our value and work alongside us. I'm a CTU member. I'm a member of United Working Families, Grassroots Illinois Action, and have supported United with Delia. I am in this because I am an advocate. I am in this because as a teacher, enough is enough. We need more, we deserve better, and that's why we're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori, for those heartfelt words. At this time, we're going to hear from another one of our alderwomen of the 20th Ward, Jeanette Taylor.
Good morning. I'm Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, the 20th Ward, and CPS teachers and staff are public workers. It is disgusting that a city would ask me to choose between my child and going to work. This is one of the richest cities in the world, and the thought that teachers have to choose says something about this administration and the folks who actually are paid to represent us. When do we just draw the line in the sand? I'm a mother of 5. My baby is 18 years old, and I couldn't imagine after 3 or 4 weeks leaving my child, not being able to nurture my child. On the backs of what? This administration has the money to do it, and so does Chicago Public Schools. Stop paying yourself $300,000, and you could actually pay the people to be on maternity leave. In this city, February 28th is coming, y'all, and we got to have some real change on that 5th floor. Please make sure that you go out and vote, because these people will continue to take and take and take as long as we don't stand together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette, for those words. At this time, we will hear from another alderwoman of the 33rd Ward, Rosanna Rodriguez.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rosanna Rodriguez. I am the alderwoman of the 33rd Ward. I will say all of this in Spanish after I say it in English. Again, we are here demanding something basic, something that should be available to everybody, something that was offered to public workers, and yet again, teachers are being shortchanged. I am a former teacher. I am a mother. I had a life-saving C-section to bring my baby into this world, and at the time I was working at a nonprofit, and I had to use all my vacation up and all my sick time in order to be able to be with my baby and heal from my C-section. This is not okay. Teachers in Chicago care for our babies. Teachers in Chicago care for the children in our communities, and yet we have such a hard time caring for the people who care for this city. We refuse to care. We refuse to offer care to the people that care for this city, and that needs to stop. So today we are going to bring this message to the mayor. These teachers deserve the same paid parental leave that any other city worker is getting. And we are going to make sure that we continue to make noise so that that happens. En español rapidito, mi nombre es Rosana Rodríguez, yo soy la concejal del Distrito 33. Estoy aquí en apoyo a los maestros y las maestras de las escuelas públicas de Chicago que están luchando para poder tener el beneficio de poder estar con sus niños luego del parto. Los empleados de Chicago se les ha ofrecido 12 semanas pagas por maternidad o paternidad, los maestros y las maestras de Chicago están siendo excluidos de esa política pública. Como madre, como maestra que era antes de ser concejal, yo tuve una cesárea que salvó mi vida para tener a mi niño, pero también me tomó mucho tiempo recuperarme de esa cesárea. Trabajaba en una organización sin fines de lucro en ese tiempo y tuve que utilizar todas mis vacaciones y mi tiempo de enfermedad, todos mis días fueron enfermedad para poder estar con mi niño. Nadie debería hacer eso. Esto es un cuidado básico que le debemos ofrecer a las personas que cuidan a nuestras comunidades. Y nuestra ciudad ha fallado miserablemente en cuidar a la gente que cuida de nuestra ciudad. Así que eso tenemos que cambiarlo. Vamos a ir al 5º piso y le vamos a decir a la alcaldesa que esto tiene que cambiar, que los maestros y las maestras de Chicago merecen poder tener sus días y su tiempo de paternidad y de maternidad. Y vamos a luchar por eso hasta que lo consigamos. Gracias.
Thank you so much for your words. Also, we're going to hear from an aldermanic candidate from the 5th Ward, Desmond Yancey.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Desmond Yancey, D-E-S-M-O-N-Y-A-N-C-Y, and I'm a candidate for alderperson of the 5th Ward. I'm running because we need new leadership here in the city, and today is another example of our failed leadership. As the father of an 8-year-old, I remember all the feels that came with being a new father, and almost as much as the joy, I remember the anxiety in having to go back to work 4 weeks after he was born. It is ridiculous that in this city that the people who take care of our children aren't afforded the same rights as other city employees. And it's important right now for us to make sure that we vote for new leadership and that we stand up in support of our teachers and other CPS workers, because they are the ones who are caring for our most vulnerable today, and they should be supported because of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We would also like to acknowledge some of our other aldermanic candidates that are here today. Thank you, aldermanic candidate of the 46th Ward, Angela Clay, for being here with us, and Alderman and Andre Vasquez of the 40th Ward. We thank you for being here today. At this time, you will hear from one of our officers, none other than our Vice President of the Chicago Teachers Union, Jackson Potter.
Good morning. Jackson Potter, Vice President, Chicago Teachers Union. It is a travesty that the people who take care of the children of Chicago cannot take care of their own, because this mayor has denied a policy that she bestowed upon city workers but refuses to replicate for employees of the Chicago Public Schools. So Lori Lightfoot has claimed to have pro-women and pro-family policies. Is it pro-woman and pro-family to deny 12 weeks leave after it was promised to CPS employees, to educators? Is it pro-women and pro-family that coaches of girls flag football get promised paychecks equivalent to the male coaches of male football, and now that's been rescinded as well? Is it pro-women and pro-family that this mayor is denying our members additional benefits if they have a miscarriage? One of our members, Joy, who's a social worker, had to go to work the next day after having a miscarriage. So you're seeing a pattern of behavior here. Is it pro-women and pro-family that this mayor has refused to adopt a pipeline for nurses so that every school, all our, we're a sanctuary city, refugee families coming in can have health care in their buildings? This is a pro-family, pro-women agenda that she has failed to enact. So we're here today, we're going to deliver 4,000 signatures because the city of Chicago deserves better. Whether you work here in City Hall, whether you work for the parks or at a sister agency, the mayor has said all sister agencies should have this right. It is something that countries do when they care for families and they give people what they need and deserve. So Why then, if she is saying that, is she not today signing off on a policy that's equivalent to what she gave city workers for the schools? So just so you know, 9:30, the city announces, unbeknownst to the bargaining units here in City Hall, that they were going to grant this expanded benefit for parental leave on September 30th, 2022. They tell us in November they're going to do the same thing on the 25th of this month, and then suddenly they pull the carpet out from under us. Why? And then she says she's in favor of it, but she has to let her own appointed board figure it out and bargain with us. She didn't do that on the city side. This is a double standard, and we're flipped. We have 80% women in the schools. They have 20% women in the city. So it's actually more necessary to enact this policy on the school side so that people can bond with their children, so that people who foster and adopt have time to make those relationships meaningful. And then there'll be better teachers for our children. So I hope that the mayor is listening, and these aldermen behind us and the aldermanic hopefuls, they have families. They know this makes sense. They support this. So hopefully the people at the top in the 5th floor, where we can't actually go and meet them because they've restricted access, will hear the needs of the people and respond accordingly. Thank you. Sure. So yeah, the timeline is 9/30/22, and we have this for a FOIA. The city benefits people share with the schools that they are enacting this policy unilaterally without bargaining it. The city then allows their benefits coordinator to meet with the CPS benefits coordinator to devise a CPS policy. They tell us they're going to do this on 11/15 in our monthly meeting with benefits. The following month, suddenly they tell us they're no longer doing it and it's suspended indefinitely without explanation other than it's hard to do. Well, yeah, if you don't want to do it, it's hard to do. So that's the timeline. A lot of the emails have been redacted when you get up to 12:15 when they announce this disappointing news, and we suspect that's when the mayor gets involved.
Thank you, Vice President Jackson Potter. At this time, we will hear from another CTU officer, none other than our own Financial Secretary, Maria Moreno.
Buenos días, soy María Moreno, secretaria de Finanzas del Sindicato de Maestros de Chicago. Lo que está ocurriendo aquí en el 5º piso del ayuntamiento es una travestía, es una injusticia. Lo que ocurrió en septiembre del año pasado fue que la ciudad anunció permisos parentales remunerados para todos los trabajadores de la ciudad. En noviembre, CPS y el sindicato comenzaron a colaborar para llegar a un acuerdo semejante para los trabajadores de CPS. Luego vino un anuncio de la alcaldesa que esto no iba a ocurrir, que esta medida estuvo suspendido indefinitivamente. No tiene sentido que la alcaldesa haga esto, no tiene sentido que una alcaldesa que dice que apoya la familia, una alcaldesa que dice que apoya los derechos de mujeres, haga lo opuesto. La mayoría de los trabajadores de la ciudad son hombres, pero se le dieron ese derecho de permiso parental. La mayoría de los trabajadores de CPS son mujeres y a ellas se le negaron. Esto es una injusticia que no ocurre en los países desarrollados, donde es un derecho fundamental humano. Esto no tiene sentido en una ciudad que tiene una economía más rica casi en el mundo, sino en el país del mundo, ¿verdad? Entonces no tiene ningún sentido, sino que la alcaldesa Lightfoot es una hipócrita. Haga lo opuesto de lo que sale de su boca y maltrata a los empleados de esta ciudad, que enseña, que cuida a los más vulnerables, los niños de familiares trabajadores afroamericanos, latinos. Y es un patrón que vemos frecuentemente, donde ella no escucha a las familias de esta ciudad, a las familias pobres, trabajadores, que están exigiendo equidad y justicia. Pero le estamos diciendo algo a Lightfoot. Viene el 28 de febrero y ese día va a ser el día de justicia, cuando los votantes entran a votar para un alcalde que va a escuchar a las familias trabajadoras y trabajadores. Y les exigimos a todos que vengan a votar ese día a apoyar a Brandon Johnson, que va a ser el siguiente alcalde de esta ciudad. Gracias.
We would like to say thank you to everyone that came out to support us on this morning, all our teachers and parents.
All sister agencies to do this. So it's in writing. The question then becomes, why do we have to bargain it? And we're subjected to the rules of bargaining, and it may or may not occur unless the CPS legal team agrees with us. Whereas here in the city, they didn't have to do that. The mayor said it's the right thing to do. I'm going to unilaterally impose a new policy to expand parental leave.
So when that happens, what do you glean from that? I know it outrages you, but you see that something changed, and I mean, not that.
I mean,
you
could
can't get in anybody's
it be retaliation? With this mayor, something that should become a cakewalk is always a dogfight. So you can see this pattern over and over again. And with educators, something simple like she says, I want a nurse and a social worker in every school. We end up having to go on an 11-day strike to get those things she promised. She says she wants an elected school board. We ended up having to fight her in Springfield to get that. She says she wants us to have parental leave, and here we are. I'll make the proposal right now. Give us what you gave city workers. That's our proposal.